Hey guys, I got an update on my 2025 CSC TT250. I'm upgrading, doing some performance upgrades to get ready for the backcountry discovery routes that I'm planning to do. And so I'm just trying to give it a little extra power, give it a little extra suspension, uh, putting some extra accessories on it, electrical accessories on it. And I've got an update for you so far, where I'm at so far. As far as engine performance updates, what I've done is I put a 70 millimeter piston kit. I've done a um, high lift camshaft and the silent rocker arms. I've also done a thinner base gasket and head gasket to raise the compression up a little bit. I have ported and polished the head. I've done a heavy duty valve springs. Um, and then I've done, as far as oil cooling, I have done the top down valve cover. Um, I have added a oil cooler. And on today's video, I'm also going to be featuring the upgrade that I've done with the oil cooler fan. Um, I've got also on the oil cooling system, I have a oil temperature gauge, an oil pressure gauge, and then I also have a thermal switch will turn the fan on and off. Um, Turn on at 220 degrees Fahrenheit, turn off at 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So that'll keep it within a nice range. Far, I have mounted a fuse box up here in the headlight housing. It's got 12 fuse spaces. I've come up with a really nice place to put it here, and all my accessories that I'm going to have added to the bike are now going to be able to run through this headlight housing and minimize all the wiring that's going to go throughout the bike. For the most part, I will not be disturbing the stock electrical system. So that way, any accessories that I've added on, if I have a problem with them, they should not impact the bike's functionality as far as running and reliability. Um, I was originally planning on putting this fuse box in the rear tail housing, but I decided once I saw that I could fit it here to mount it here, which is going to reduce all my wiring that's going to be running down through the frame, and potential rubbing and shortages and things like that that could happen with that long of wires running throughout the bike. So this is going to be a much tighter, more easily accessible. If I have a problem out on the trail, all I got to do is just pop off two bolts to get the headlight off, and I'll have access to everything right here. This fuse box is going to, if there's a blown fuse, it will light up and tell me that there's a blown fuse. So very easy to identify as soon as I take that light off. That's easier than putting it on the tail light housing. If I put it on the tail light housing, I would have to remove my luggage. I'd have to remove the side panels. I'd have to remove the seat in order just to get to the fuse box. So I decided this was a better play here, and I think it's going to come out really nice. I had to do just a couple little tiny modifications in order to get this in here, but I think it came out really well. I've put on a heavier duty rear shock. It's a rear shock from a Ninja, and I was able to um, fit it on the bike without too much trouble. Um, I put on I rebuilt the shock and put in some fresh shock oil. I put in a heavier duty bottom mount bumper because of the extra weight I'm going to have on the bike. I just want to ensure that it doesn't blow past through the bottom mount bumper. The stock Ninja had a soft bottom mount bumper, so I put a more firm bottom mount bumper in there. Um, I also put in a heavier rate spring than what the Ninja came with, and so I think it's going to come out really nice. I think I haven't been able to ride the bike yet with the new shock on there, but I'm hoping to test that here pretty soon as I get all these upgrades going. The other thing that I've done is I have the forks are not on the bike yet, but I've also resprung the bike, put in some heavier springs on the fork oil. I went from stock is about 5 weight, and I went up to 7 weight, and that seems to work pretty well. I've actually been able to test ride with the forks on, and it feels a lot better than how it did stock. Here I've made a bracket in order to install this radiator cooling fan, and I think it came out pretty good. The radiator is pretty narrow, it's not very big, and so it was very difficult to find a cooling fan with enough power to be able to draw enough air through it that I felt comfortable with. That was small in diameter. I couldn't find a really good one. Most of them this size are more for like computers and electronics and things like that, and weren't really going to work real well. So this fan's a little bigger than what I had hoped, but I made it work. It all tucks in right underneath the fan or the radiator shrouds. You know, they have shrouds on here, although this bike doesn't come stock with the radiator, but it's just part of the design of the bike. They do have shrouds on here, and this does tuck just underneath it, and it is a little bit more exposed than what I would like. I have found what I think might be a smaller fan that I may order and try. If I can reduce the size of this fan, the diameter of this fan, to get this in a little further, I'd like to do that. I'm gonna try it. I think I found a fan that I might order, and if it comes in, it's decently priced, and it fits, and it should just be minor modifications to this existing bracket here, if I even need the bracket. Might not even need the bracket, but I think I will still need the bracket. And the reason why I had to put this on here is that the fan, because it's a larger diameter than the size of the radiator, I needed to block off the area of the fan that does not have the radiator in front of it, so that way I don't lose that extra draw from the fan through this open space. And so this should hopefully direct all of that suction, since it's blocked off almost half the fan, should that extra force should transfer over, hopefully, through the radiator and pull, or the oil cooler, and pull that extra draw through the oil cooler. That's the plan. So next thing I have coming up is airbox modifications. I'm going to be doing my next video on airbox modifications. So make sure and subscribe, so that way you can see the next parts of this build that I have coming up. The airbox modifications is a must-do on this bike, an absolute must. This bike, the airbox on this thing has got leaks in it. It's overall, I like the design, and I like to keep an airbox if I can on the bike. A lot of guys run it with the pods, but I'm planning on using this more off-road, and I do plan on doing water crossings and things like that, and I want to try and have an airbox, retain the airbox. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do some of those modifications on that bike. So stay tuned for that, and subscribe so that you can catch my next video. Thank you all. Ride safe.